the cursed house. Dark, cold, silent, the house loomed at the end of the lane, its crooked chimney clawing at the dusk sky like a skeletal finger. Ivy smothered its stone walls, curling possessively over cracked glass windows that reflected no light. Evelyn paused at the gate, suitcase in hand, a shiver tracing her spine despite the summer evening. Mark squeezed her shoulder, forcing a smile. Sophie, their wide-eyed daughter, only whispered, "It looks sad inside." The air was sepulchral, damp, heavy, as though centuries of sorrow had seeped into the walls. Dust motes drifted like pale ghosts in the fading beams of light. Creak. The staircase groaned under their tentative steps, each protest of timber echoing like a whispered warning. Yet the family pressed forward, determined to believe the promise of a new beginning. The first signs came quietly. Click. A door sighing open when no one touched it. Tap, tap. The rocking chair in the nursery swaying gently, though the window was shut tight. Sophie placed a teacup on her bedside table for the lady upstairs. Evelyn laughed uneasily, but later the faint perfume of lavender clung to the room like an invisible shroud. Her fingers shook as she unpacked boxes, discovering in the cellar a trunk of forgotten belongings. Sepia photographs of a severe-looking woman in a grey dress, eyes unblinking, smile absent, letters signed in faded ink. Margaret Wren. Evelyn felt the woman's gaze follow her from the photographs, stern and suffocating, like winter's frost creeping under a door. Her chest tightened when the neighbor visited, his face pale as plaster. He refused their offer of tea, only muttering as he backed toward the door. She never left. His words rattled around Evelyn's mind like stones in an empty jar. Sleep-deprived and restless, Evelyn began to hear more. Whisper, whisper. Footsteps pacing the corridor at night. The lull of a lullaby rising from the nursery when Sophie slept, and a cacophony of knocks echoing through the rafters. Mark scoffed at her fears, irritation burning in his voice. But his bravado faltered the night they discovered muddy footprints trailing from the back door to Sophia's room. The prints were small, too small to be his. Inside, the air was colder, sharper, each breath tasting of earth and mold. Shadows pooled in corners, tenebrous and thick, as if the walls themselves were breathing. The storm broke suddenly, a violent shift in the setting. Rain hammered the roof like 1,000 dripping knives, wind rattling the windows with bangs and thuds. Lightning split the sky, illuminating the twisted garden where the ivy writhed like living snakes, blackened against the grey haze. Evelyn ran outside, drenched, desperate, drawn toward the old fountain. There, in the torrent of rain, she glimpsed Margaret, not just in the house, but projected into the world around her, standing pale and unmoving. The woman's hair whipped like smoke around her face, and her eyes glimmered with a malevolent glow, deep and fathomless. Margaret advanced, her dress clinging to her like seaweed, flowing unnaturally in the storm wind. She did not walk but floated, the hem of her gown dragging shadows across the muddy grass. Her voice, brittle yet omnipresent, echoed as though the storm itself had learned to speak. I never left. Inside, the nursery toys rattled violently, creak, creak, spinning in a circle as if obeying invisible hands. Sophie, tear-streaked, pointed to the chair and whispered again. She never left. Evelyn tried to reach her daughter, but Margaret's figure expanded, stretching like a shadow into the night, blending house and garden into a single, inescapable realm. The family stumbled back toward the house, soaked and trembling, while lightning flashed once more, illuminating Margaret's hollow eyes, endless, watching, eternal. They never returned. The house, shrouded once more in silence, waited patiently for the next tenants, ivy twisting possessively around its windows, as if breathing, dark, cold, silent.